Hey guys, what's up? Ryze TriKz here, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different that I really haven't talked about before. We're going to be talking about motivation, you know, like the things that you want to do in life and going and doing it, and you know, things like that, and why I want to do Call of Duty, and you know, why it interests me and things like that. And we're going to be going into some kind of personal stories about it, but that's pretty much it. I guess I'll start off with, you know, why I started Call of Duty, you know, why I, you know, wanted to make it into a career, and when I decided that that's what I wanted to do. But, you know, I played Call of Duty from probably around 6th grade or so, and, you know, I was always into it. I started playing World at War, and I was really into playing Nazi zombies, and it was just a hobby that I really liked doing. I did it all the time. You know, when I got home from school, that's all I did. I'd hop on Xbox, play it, you know, until I went to bed, sometimes later, stayed up all night, then went to school, and I played it a lot. And the first multiplayer I ever played was Modern Warfare 2, and I really didn't do good at it. I was pretty bad at it, but, you know, all my friends were playing it, so I was like, you know what, I'll start playing it, because, you know, everybody wants to do what their friends are doing, or else you just feel left out. Not saying that you should go into peer pressure or anything. You shouldn't do that. I'm just saying, you know, it's Call of Duty, you know, how could it hurt anybody? So I started playing it, you know, I enjoyed it. It was a really interesting, you know, competitive feel. I've never done anything like that before. Unfortunately, though, back then my internet was really bad, so I really didn't get to experience the, you know, full potential from it. But from that, it just kept progressing, and, you know, all my friends would play it just a little bit, but I was one of those guys who just played it all the time, and I really got a feel for it. You know, I really liked it. It was something that I could go to take my mind off things, because I know when I was in middle school and beginning of freshman year in high school, I was always really stressed out. I was depressed a few times, and so many other things, and Xbox just seemed to take my mind off of it. You know, it was like my own little world that I could go to. And, you know, I got really good at it, and I started getting pretty good at it near the end of Modern Warfare 2 and the beginning of Black Ops 1. I'd say I was doing really well. I started, you know, learning so many different things, you know, quick scoping and trick shotting, you know, rushing. Because at the beginning, you know, I just camped, you know, because I didn't really know anything. And, you know, I started learning all these different aspects, and I became better as a player. And I remember in Black Ops 1, people were talking to me about going pro, you know. Some people that I've played with that have done it before were like, you know, you should really look into it. I think in the future, you know, you have the potential to really, you know, do something with it. And, you know, at the time, I was just like, you know, that would be really cool. But, you know, I was like, how can you make a job out of playing video games? Because I didn't really know anything. And I'd say later on in life, it was hitting Modern Warfare 3, I really got into the whole clan thing, you know, having a team and playing and showing off and all this stuff, but we really didn't do anything, you know. I really wanted to get into competitive and stuff like that, and I think it was in Black Ops 2 when I really started paying attention to it. I really started watching competitive players and watching how to get to how they got to where they got. You know, that's when I decided I was going to start, you know, doing YouTube and stuff like that, and that's when I started this YouTube channel. And I remember buying, you know, the equipment needed, like an HD PVR, you know, recording devices and stuff like that, and I started off with the bare minimum. And throughout, you know, however long it's been, 2 to 3 years or so, I've been putting more and more money into it, but I haven't been getting a lot, and I've really been trying to get all the money to do it. And I've just really, you know, it's been something that I've really liked, and it was just something that I was really good at, because I remember in middle school, I was really bad in school, you know, like not bad as in a bad character, though I probably was too, you know. I remember being really ignorant back in those days, but it was more of, you know, I didn't really shine very well in the school, you know. I didn't do very good with my grades or anything like that. It was always a struggle to me. So going to something that I was really good at, you know, Xbox, going to something that I could shine in, that I was better than all my friends, you know, it was an escape. It was more of like, you know, a different reality. All my stresses and everything were gone, and I was really good at this, and, you know, it was, you know, that dopamine was going on, you know, it was lifting me up in a way, and that's where I became really interested in it, because, you know, I really enjoyed doing it. I think it was something that I'm really good at it, and when I started figuring out, you know, you can make a career out of this, I was like, you know, why don't I go do that, you know? What's to hold me back from going and accomplishing something like that? Because I think it's a really great accomplishment. Somebody, you know, does something that they really desire in their heart, or that they think is really fun. Because, I mean, I don't really want to go live a life where I'm only living to make money, or I'm just doing a job and I'm sucking up and I'm, you know, getting people putting fingers in my face all day, telling me what I am and what I'm not, and, you know, it seems like there's so much of that goes on in the world, and, you know, I wanted to step out and be kind of unique and do my own thing. Not saying that there's anything wrong with, you know, being a janitor or going to school or anything like that, because, you know, those are jobs that are needed, and we need to do that, and I think people need to contribute back to society. You know, there's people that go do these things where they kind of are an entrepreneur and they go and play video games for a living or whatever it is, whether you're a musician, heck, even people that just do yo-yo. You know, whatever it is, I think those people should give back to society, and I think people should also, you know, they have the right to go after whatever it is that they want to do, if it's, you know, nothing that's really wrong, you know, as long as it's, you know, something that's right. You know, if you want to go play video games, if you want to go lift weights, if you want to do music, you know, whatever it is, I don't really see a difference in any of it. It's like, I think if you want to go do those things and you like it, then you should be able to, but I think you also, there's a, you know, a line where you should contribute back to society. And for the most part, I've seen a lot of people that get successful in these unique ways. They do that, and I don't know, I didn't really want to fall into the trap of, I feel like society puts so much pressure on, you have to go to school, and then right after you graduate high school, you know, it's law to go there, and then it's like you get so much pressure to go to college, and it's like, then you have to go to college, and you have all these different things that people are just cramming in your face that you have to do, rather than you know, going out on your own and being unique and doing your own thing. Not saying there's anything, you know, wrong with the stuff that they're learning. I think, you know, you should learn these things. I think that they're important things to learn. And this year and last year, I've gotten like a 3.6 GPA, so obviously I'm not doing bad in school anymore. I've, you know, come pretty far from it, and I think that we should learn it, and I think education is a very important thing. People should learn, you know, different things and become educated in life, but it just feels like when you go to school, it's, you know, so many responsibilities. It's like people just saying that you have to do this thing and you can't go, you know, be unique and do something that you want to do, and I feel like, you know, especially in high school, it's like it takes over your entire life. You know, you go into school for like 8 hours a day, and then you have all these hours of extra homework, and it's like, when do you have time to actually pursue anything that you want to do? There's so many things, so many jobs and careers out there, you know, you don't have to go to college for, you don't have to go to high school for, and you can go do it. You know, being a weightlifter or a power lifter or bodybuilder, you know, playing Xbox, you know, you don't have to go to school for these things. I mean, you can, and it's definitely going to help in the long run. Well, for bodybuilding probably, and powerlifting. I don't think there's really any schools for, you know, how to be a pro gamer, but you know what I mean? It's, you don't have to do those things, and a lot of people become scared with that because they think that it's a lot more risky. But you know, you could go to school and you could fail just as easily at getting, you know, a job and making money as you could taking the risk and going out and doing what you want to do. And I think that's, you know, fear is a really big thing, because fear can really kill somebody. You know, it kills dreams. It, you know, can kill inventions. It can kill all this stuff. And I feel like so many people will tell you what you can and can't do in life, and it's like you can't really let somebody tell you that, because, you know, if you take all these people that did all these great things, like the first person that invented the light bulb and all these other great inventions, back then at the time when they were doing that, I bet you so many people thought they were insane and were like, no, that could never be accomplished, it's not going to happen. And if that person would have listened to them, you know, it's like, where would we be today if that person listened to them? You know, we wouldn't have a light bulb, or we wouldn't have cars, you know, whatever it is that made society what it is today. And it's like, you know, don't let people hold you back. You know, if you want to go do something, then you should have all the right to go do it. Don't listen to what people say. You know, there's an old proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, then the enemy outside can do us no harm. And, you know, it's kind of true, really. No matter what anybody says, if they say something to you, that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean anything. What matters is what you believe. It's like, nobody can hurt you unless you have, you know, you give them their, you know, your consent to hurt them. If somebody calls you ugly and you start believing you're ugly, it's like the only reason why it's hurting you is because you're believing it. The belief system really is, it's like such an important thing in anything you do. You have to have faith in what you're going to go do, and you can't really let other people get in your way, because it's like, who knows You know, how can somebody tell you what you can and can't do? It's like nobody can read the future. We're all made up of the same, you know, genetic code. You know, we're not necessarily made up of the same genetic code. You know, we all have our own genetic codes. We all, you know, some people are better genetically gifted at bodybuilding and stuff like that, but we're all still made up of the same, you know, things. You know, we all have muscles and bones and the same, you know, stuff. You know, you have just as good as a chance at going and doing something as the next guy. It's like that person could be the smartest person in the world. He has a, you know, genetics has a role in how smart you are. He could have a really genetic code built for being smart. And it's like if he is lazy though, he doesn't believe that he can do anything, you know, he's never going to get anywhere. And then you have somebody that really wants to do it, that believes that they can do it, but yet they have a lot harder time doing it. And that person can end up coming out on top simply because he believes in himself. And I think that's like a really big thing, you know? People really need to believe in themselves, and people shouldn't hate on anybody for whatever they want to do, because we all have different things that we want to do. And, you know, how are they different? You know, if you want to be a musician or a bodybuilder, you want to be a janitor, you know, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you should do. How's it different from, you know, anything else out there? And that's just the way that I see it, you know. I hope I don't offend anybody, and I really wish that people would see my point of view, because I know that me personally, I've had a lot of flack before about whenever I say, you know, I want to be a professional gamer. It's like, I've had people laugh, I've had people judge me, I've had people tell me that I couldn't do it, and I've had people, you know, say I should go to school and I should do something with my life. And it always interests me when people go there, when they're like, you should do something with your life, you know? What does pro gaming have to do with, you know, how you live your life? I mean, a life is a life. If you're breathing, then you're alive, right? And it's like, to me, it's like if you're being a coward and you have to go to school to get a job to make money, that's cowardly. If you're just living, you know, to make money and you take that safe road, unless your job that you want to do is involved with school. But it's like, if you're just going to school to try to get a job to make money, that's cowardly. Why don't you take the risk to do something that you want to do and try to make money from it, you know, try to make something of it. That seems to me like it's living more than somebody who takes the safe road. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with school, you know, if that's what you want to do, you should go do it. That's my whole point that I'm getting at. And it always interests me because also, you know, living your life is a matter of perspective. You know, somebody could say, somebody that lifted weights for a living, they could say that that's not living. And to me, I think that's, you know, I think there's a beauty in that. That somebody that puts devotion and time and effort into a passion that they love. And, you know, they keep working at it and working at it and working at it, and they become like an expert in whatever skill it is, you know. There's people out there that are, you know, really strong bodybuilders or really strong powerlifters or great people with musical gifts, or people that are a pro gamer, you know, whatever it is. It's really, I think there's a beauty in that, because it's like that person put all their time and effort and passion into something and became like an expert at it. It's like, I could look at, you know, a musician and see how great they are, you know, a professional musician, and then I could try figuring out, but I could see how much better they are because they put all that time and effort into doing that. And, you know, there's only so much time that you have to live. So it's like, to me personally, the 4 things that I think that everybody should do is they need to figure out what they believe in, they need to figure out who they want to be, and they need to figure out what they want to do, and then how they're going to do it. Because to me, that's, you know, that's living. You have to figure out those 4 basic things to figure out what you're going to do. Because if you don't have, you know, a direction, you're just, you know, a directionless boat. Or if you don't have a foundation, you're a house without a foundation, and that's, you know, really weak. So anyways, guys, I hope you all agree with me, and comment down below what you think, and see you guys later.